This is a review of the DeWalt DWD460 11 amp half-inch right angle stud and joist drill with bind-up control that I purchased on Amazon. I purchased the drill because I had several upcoming projects where I needed to drill a lot of holes for electrical and plumbing, and every time I used one of my corded drills with a hole saw, I was experiencing a little bit of pain because I've got some tendonitis in my right elbow. And another reason is I had an incident a while back, probably one of the more dangerous incidents I've had, where I was using a 4.5 inch hole saw to drill a hole in a metal roof, and it was above my head, and like an idiot I had the trigger on locked, and the hole saw caught on something and it twisted out of my hand and it kept running, and the hole saw, as it was spinning, grazed the top of my my head, and luckily it twisted up enough that it pulled the power cable out and turned the drill off. But that was pretty much the only thing that saved me from having a serious injury. I'm using Lennox hole saws that I bought from Lowe's. They're relatively inexpensive, and as long as you don't do something stupid like hit them with a nail or use them on metal too much or shove them in the concrete, they work really good. Here you can see I'm using the slot that makes it so the plug comes out pretty easy. And now I'm using a Bosch 7/8 spade bit, but it has like a screw point, so that once the point gets in the stud, it pretty much just moves itself into the wood, and you can drive it as fast as you want to, especially with this drill. It's so easy. It's almost fun drilling holes through studs, and it just eats the wood. It's pretty amazing what this drill can do with this Bosch spade bit. I'm using that same spade bit, drilling through double 2x4s, and if you count it, it's about like 5 seconds for that thing to go through, so it moves through quick. Now here I'm using a 3-inch hole saw, and I had to speed that up because this hole saw is extremely dull. So it barely makes it through, but it's the hole saw's fault, not the drill's fault. Here I'm drilling more holes, and it just goes straight through, pretty much with no effort. And this drill has this thing called bind-up control, some kind of clutch that makes it stop if it senses it's binding up. A couple times here, there's a place there where it did bind up when I was having to drill at an angle, and it just slowed itself down. Never once did I have pain in my elbow, which is one of the original reasons why I bought this drill. So it's versus a regular drill where you would have it be jerking around, it would catch on something, your elbow would go in some kind of strange direction, and then I would be in a lot of pain, versus here where it just goes straight through, and it's probably the weight of this thing because it weighs like 12 pounds, and then the amount of torque and that torque control, but it does everything I wanted it to. Drills these holes right through. I probably did this job in a third of the time that would have taken if I had a regular drill. I also needed to drill a hole through an I-beam for this building. This drill has a 2 speeds. The low speed is 300 RPMs, and so I figured I'd give it a try drilling a hole in the metal. And I know a mag drill will be a lot better, but I don't have the $1,000 to plunk down on one. And here you can see the clutch actually work, where the drill punches through, and right there the clutch actually activated, and you can see that the drill bit got bent up pretty good, but other than the drill stopping, I didn't feel a thing. So it's amazing that you can do that much damage to the drill bit, and the drill takes care of everything. My overall impressions of this drill is this is one hell of a tool. It met every one of my expectations. It's got 2 speeds, 313 RPMs. It's got a nice big beefy handle. It also has a D handle for both hands. The trigger is nice and tight. The has a nice heavy-duty long cord. Nice aluminum housing. It met every one of my expectations, and it's kind of expensive at $300. But you pay $30 for the clutch mechanism, but it's well worth it. It's a very good tool. Thanks for watching.